Some people carry more than others ever see. They hold it together. They stay strong. They keep showing up, even when the weight gets harder to explain. Not because they like the struggle, but because they believe what they're holding on to is worth it. The question is, what if it's not? What if the effort is real, but the outcome never was? And what if the hardest thing isn't holding on, but knowing when to stop? A good friend of mine, someone I've known since we were kids, recently bought a new place. 7th floor of a high-rise. Beautiful penthouse. From the balcony, you can see the woods stretch out endlessly, and if the light's right, you can spot the sea shimmering in the distance. Now, my friend's always been the creative type, the kind of guy who doesn't just buy furniture, he designs it. Custom, precise, personal. So when he had a table built, he also commissioned a matching sideboard. Walnut, over 7 meters long, gorgeous. One small issue though, how do you get something like that up to the 7th floor? Sure, he could have rented a crane, but where's the fun in that? Instead, he called on his friends, myself included, and decided we'd do it the heroic way, with ropes, sweat, and stubbornness. 2 guys down below. 3 walking with it floor by floor to guide it along, and then me and 2 others up top, hauling the thing up by rope over the balcony railing. It sounded like a plan. For the first few meters it even looked like one. But Walnut, as we discovered very quickly, was never meant to be dragged up the side of a building by amateurs. Newton had a thing or two to say about it, and none of it was helpful. Still, slowly, meter by meter, we made progress. Until the last 3 meters. Suddenly it wouldn't move, not an inch upward, only down. And from where we were, up on the 7th floor, we couldn't see what was happening. Just tension on the rope, just weight, just shouting from below. We yelled, we strained, we tried everything. Nothing. I turned to the 2 guys next to me and told them to run downstairs to help the crew. "I'll hold it," I said. And I did, for the first 3 minutes. But by minute 5, the rope had started cutting grooves into my hands. My arms were shaking. The burn had set in. I shouted, "Hurry up! I can't hold this much longer." No answer. I shouted again, louder, "Guys, help, now!" Still nothing. And just as I was about to let go, genuinely not theatrically, 4 guys ran up behind me and grabbed the rope, took over the weight, took over the fight. 10 minutes later, the walnut sideboard was inside, untouched. My hands, on the other hand, were bandaged. And my friend? He stood there beaming at that damn piece of wood like it was a new family member. He loved it. It was worth it. For him. But as I sat there nursing my palms, something hit me. This is what I see in people all the time. They pull. They strain. They give everything they have for something they believe is worth it. Sometimes they don't even know exactly what it is. They just know it matters. So they hold on, even when it hurts, even when it cuts into them. And yes, sometimes the result is beautiful. The sideboard makes it to the top. The dream lands. The struggle pays off. But sometimes, maybe even often, it's not worth it. Sometimes the thing we're holding on to was never ours to carry in the first place, and yet we cling to it with white knuckles, convinced we'll be lesser if we let go. What this sideboard story also reminded me of is something many people forget completely. The call for help. We wait too long to shout. We convince ourselves we can handle it, that we should handle it. We tell ourselves we're strong. We've got this. It's our rope, our responsibility. And so we hold, until the fibers burn through our hands and the weight pulls us closer to the edge. Sometimes, the most courageous thing isn't holding on. It's yelling, full force from the top of your lungs, "I can't do this alone." Because here's the truth. If I hadn't screamed that day, that sideboard would have crashed 7 stories down and might have taken a few of us with it. So the real question becomes, what rope are you pulling? Is it your partner, the one you know, deep down, you belong with, but where things have been hard, exhausting, complicated? Are you asking for help with that, or just holding it in while the burn gets worse? Is it your dream job, the position, the promotion, the project that you've been chasing for years, giving it everything, even when it starts pulling more from you than it gives back? Or is it something far heavier than that? Old memories, outdated versions of yourself, shame you've carried too long, pain that no longer serves you, but you hold onto it anyway, because letting go feels like losing control? Are you pulling on one rope, or are there 5 tangled in your hands, each one demanding strength you no longer have? They say choose your battles. But the truth is, we don't just choose battles. We carry them, quietly, constantly, and we rarely stop to ask, is this fight still worth it? Because yes, some things are. Some things are worth your whole body weight. Some things deserve everything you've got, but others are eating you alive while convincing you they matter. That's the hard part. See, back on that balcony, I didn't let go of the rope. Not because of pride, not because of ego, but because I couldn't see what was underneath. Maybe someone was down there. Maybe not. But the risk wasn't mine alone. So I gave everything I had. And that's a good reason to hold on. That's a moment where pain has purpose, where the cost is justified. But what about you? Is that job, that relationship, that version of yourself you're trying to prove, is it truly worth the damage you're absorbing? Would you still grip the rope if you knew no one else was underneath? Would you still keep pulling if you knew that letting go wouldn't destroy something, but might actually set you free? These are the questions most people never ask, because they're too busy proving they're strong enough to hold on. Instead of asking whether the thing they're holding onto is worth it in the first place, at some point, you stop asking if you're strong enough to keep going. You start asking if this is still the direction you want to go. Because choosing isn't weakness. And asking for help isn't surrender. It's how you make sure the life you're fighting for is actually yours.